Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got my bro Chillmont here. We're going to be talking the Missouri Tigers. We got coming up Saturday at 3:30. And then we're also going to talk about Connor Stallions and everything that's going on with Michigan and the possible suspension, all that good stuff. All right, Chillmont, we've got let's talk Missouri first. Obviously, this is a big game for the Vols. So they are not out of the SEC East at all. Now, a lot's got to happen. First of all, Ole Miss has got to beat Georgia. We got to beat Missouri. And then we got to beat Georgia at home.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
So that's three things that got to go our way.
We control our own destiny, John, but no, we don't. It's going to be difficult. Actually, we kind of don't, but
yeah, Missouri's got to win. That's probably going to be the most difficult part of this. I think we have a very legitimate chance of beating Missouri. I think we'll be slightly favored now. But it's going to be a tough game. It's at 3:30 instead of 7 o'clock, so that's helpful. Missouri will have a home field advantage, but it's not a home field advantage like being at Neyland, where it's just the crowd is unbelievable.
Or the Swamp or something like that. Their stadium isn't like those.
No, it's not
still,
as big.
It's still they're going to have a huge crowd and they'll be fairly loud. Nothing like Neyland. Yeah, they'll be a part of it.
Yeah, I would think so. I think they'll have a sold out crowd for sure. And here's the positive parts that are going on right now. And this is kind of surprising, but we've got the number one rushing offense in the SEC.
Yeah.
We've also got the number one rushing defense in the SEC. That is shocking to me. And I think that's a Heupel thing. Heupel can coach regardless whether you're going to go with a passing attack, a rushing attack, and that he's building up this defense. Now, we still got a secondary problem. That's been our biggest issue over the last few years. And then losing Hayden in the backfield is very difficult. But, look, everybody's lost great players. That's just the way that it is. It just so happens our weakest part is the secondary, and he was our best player back there. But we've got depth this year, and we've got young depth. So, I mean, it's not like we don't have the athletes. We just,
we don't have the experience. Yeah, we don't have the experience back there yet. We're working on it. That's the big thing and that's pretty much their biggest weapon is their passing offense, is it not, John?
Their quarterback is very good. Brady Cook is a dual threat. He's got a great arm. He's very athletic. He will take off on you and burn you bad. And if you'll remember last year, he was playing pretty darn well against us until Hendon Hooker just took over. And we took over in the third quarter and just kind of wore him out. But they were within a score in the third quarter at one point because Brady Cook was playing really well.
Their strength is our weakness, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, they're going to score some points on us probably in the air. We just got to be able to counteract that. If we run for, especially if we run for over 200 yards again, I think we win the game for sure.
I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be in the 30s for sure. Our offense is looking really good. Joe Milton's completion ratio is up to 65%. It was at 60. He's had 2 or 3 games in a row that have just been really, really solid. He's running the ball really well. He's been a big part of our rushing offense. And I think his confidence level is very different than it was at the start of the year.
All he had to do was start running. I don't know why we waited that long for him to start running. I don't know. Maybe they were just worried about, protecting him since Nico was a true freshman of the backup and all that. But then we had the other guy who's a really serviceable backup quarterback.
Gaston Moore,
that's right. Yeah, he's actually very, very serviceable out there, and he would actually be a pretty good backup just on his own. Of course, Nico's. You can see it. Nico's got everything you want.
Yeah, he's electric.
Yeah, it's going to be a test Saturday.
Yeah, this Brady Cook, he throws about 67% completion ratio, which means he'll probably throw for 70% plus against us. He's probably going to throw for 300 plus yards. We just might as well go ahead and prepare our minds for that. They're going to score in the 30s. We're going to have to outscore them and control. Well, I think we can control the line of scrimmage as far as them trying to run on us and us running on them. I think they'll have a tough time with our rushing offense. Now, they've got a very good front seven. It's really solid. But I think we'll have some success there, especially if Joe runs. Joe is the X factor in the rushing game because you can account for a lot of things. But when that quarterback takes off, especially a guy as quick as he is, that can be very difficult. That's why Brady Cook is a problem for us. And if we lose that game, it'll be because of Brady Cook. I'll just go ahead and tell you. He's going to have to kind of carry Missouri, which he's been doing a really good job of this year. They've only lost 2 games.
Hopefully we can do to him what we did to Spencer Rattler.
How dare you?
And shut him down. I don't think we will. That was one of the things that was shocking to me when we played South Carolina, that we shut him down, because he was at the time one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC statistics wise. Of course, they have a bad offensive line, which I don't think is much of a problem at Missouri. It's going to be 2 things. It's going to be, can we stop them enough on offense? Number 2, do you think they'll have more than 1 penalty?
No, I think they'll have a very small number of penalties. I don't think they'll have more than maybe 1 live game penalty. I think we'll have 10 or 11, and we'll have at least 80, 90 yards in penalties, and they'll probably have somewhere under 30.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. They're not going to call holding. They're not going to call pass interference. They're not going to call these things. They'll call them on us. They will call them on us.
Blocking the back, you can do all that. You come into a Tennessee game and you can commit penalties with impunity. That's a pretty good little advantage there.
It's been happening all year. It's really been very shocking. And I've quit fighting the narrative. Yeah, there is something going on with that.
People can poo-poo it, and that's fine. And I don't want to be a conspiracy nut with a tinfoil hat, but the statistics bear it out. Yeah. I mean, when we're getting 10, 11 penalties a game, and our last 4 of our last games, 3 away, they had a total of 3 penalties?
Yep, 3 live game penalties, and 2 of them were in UConn. One against Florida, 0 against Alabama, 0 against Kentucky, it's impossible.
It's in the billions. It cannot happen. Would not happen.
That's 16 quarters of Division I football, 3 live penalties, and 2 were just chump penalties against UConn.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Alabama is a very penalty-friendly club. They love
1 holding penalty in 4 games, and every play they're holding, every single one.
Yeah. Well, see, it's not holding if you put your arm around Tyler Barron's neck and choking. Yeah. That's assault, but it's not holding in the SEC.
Yeah, so. It's don't get me started, but yeah, it's we've got our work cut out for us going there. We've had a brutal away schedule this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had Florida away, Kentucky away, Bama away. Our only really tough game that we've had at home will be Georgia. With the exception of A&M, you can probably stack them up, but when we beat them. But,
it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since we've lost at home.
I know
he's like 14. I think he's 14 or 15-0 now.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat
in a row. So yeah, you just we're tough at home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Georgia will be. They're the number 1 team in the country by far.
Yeah.
So that'll be the epic test.
Yes. I don't know. I think, John, assuming we beat Missouri, at Missouri, come back and maybe lose a close one. Hopefully it's close either way to Georgia, and then beat Vandy. We finish 9-3?
Yeah. Yep. Now,
that's a great season.
Where we're headed. We're probably headed to 9-3 if I had to guess.
Yeah. And that's a great season considering what we lost.
Yeah.
And what we've lost during this season. We lost our best receiver, our best linebacker, our best cornerback now. We didn't have our best offensive lineman for the first 3 games. We lost the best quarterback in the country. We lost 2 of the best receivers in the country coming into this year. That went on to the NFL. We lost a lot from last year, and still we're looking pretty good. And the big thing is Milton, if he plays like he did at Kentucky, I think we win.
I think he'll play better. I think he's going to play better.
I see
a very confident Joe Milton out there right now, and I don't think we've ever seen a confident Joe Milton until the last few games.
If he plays better than he has been, I think we win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. We struggle on the road, but every team in the SEC struggles on the road. That's just the way that it is.
I'm telling you, home field, and we've talked about this, home field advantage in the SEC has become ridiculously big.
Yeah, it's a super big deal. Yeah. All right, well, we've talked enough about Missouri. Let's get now, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about this Michigan scandal. And it got really weird today with Connor Stallions. And I'll show you this picture, folks. Actually, I'm going to pull it up right here, right now. Yeah, right. This is his house, and you can see right there, those are like 30 vacuum cleaners that he's got on his front porch. So that's what's going on there. He's got a business where he's selling secondhand vacuums, and their All-American running back, Blake Corum, is listed on the LLC. Now, Blake has come out today on Twitter, and he's basically said that that's not the case. He gave an interview of about 90 seconds, that he has no idea how that is. But somebody showed a Twitter feed where it looks like he was talking about having a business that had the same name as what was on the LLC. But let's see, it's hard to say what's going on with Connor Stalions. It's so crazy. But for some reason, he's all into vacuum cleaners.
I said, don't disturb me while I'm cleaning my room.
The way to riches in America is clearly use vacuum cleaners, John. That's been known for years. Forget real estate, forget other things, forget the stock market. Invest in used vacuum cleaners. Yeah, this gets weirder and weirder. I think what is happening here, and I saw this today, now Michigan is saying that Ohio State and Purdue and one other school was stealing their signs. So it's basically just classic, I'm going to accuse everybody else of doing what I did and muddy up the water and have everybody question, well, did they cheat too? And now all of a sudden the diversion goes away from Michigan's a little bit and it gets more on your opponents. And that's a classic ploy.
Oh, yeah, it's the best defense is good offense. And, of course, they've accused Ryan Day, his brother, of being who is a private investigation or has a private investigating firm, the one that put out all this information and basically blew the whistle on Michigan.
So what?
So there's I know.
I mean, there's nothing illegal about that.
I'd blow the whistle too.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for that, we'd never know about it probably, except, the teams will say, why the heck are they keep beating us when they're not that good?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I just read about from Pete Thamel. He said that Michigan's going to respond by the end of today from the accusations that were sent to them on Monday by the Big Ten. The Big Ten's supposedly going to think about it and digest their response. I don't know if they're going to respond tomorrow or Friday or if they're going to wait till Monday. Now, if they wait till Monday, the Penn State game will have already been played. So a 4-game suspension wouldn't make any sense. So if they're going to do a 4-game, they're going to have to do it pretty soon in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Doesn't the 48 hours end like today? Yeah,
at the end of the day. So they're going to by 5 o'clock or 9. They might do it at midnight. Who knows?
Yeah.
If I'm Michigan, I wait to the last possible second.
Yeah. They'll probably send them an email at 11:58.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, we deny everything. That'll be their strategy. Like you said, there's an attorney with filing papers for an injunction standing next to a judge as we speak.
You're probably right.
I'll slap an injunction on them so fast it'll make their head spin.
And
you're probably right about that.
As soon as the Big Ten says makes a syllable, he's going to hand it to the judge, who is probably a Michigan alumni.
Are you suggesting that he would be wearing a Michigan shirt underneath his robe?
He may have a Michigan tattoo. I'm not sure. It's going to be instantaneous 90-day injunction, which gets him through the rest of the season and probably into the Big Ten championship game and all that. So
that would be the perfect plan. That would be the perfect response if they could pull that off, because all they want to do is get through this season. And then the NCAA, they'll take 1-2 years to do their whole deal.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting is Michigan, Ohio State when they play.
Oh, my gosh. That game is going to be epic.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to that game. I've never looked forward to a game as much other than maybe us in Alabama.
That game's going to be amazing, and Ohio State should be out for blood.
Oh, crap. How about the Penn State game to Saturday? The Penn State game is going to be monstrous. Dude, I'm telling you, there is blood in the water right now for the other coaches. They're so angry about this.
Oh, the knives are out.
They literally can't wait.
Yeah, the knives are out for Michigan right now. It is crazy. Yeah, the fact that, and the thing, I didn't know this till you said this today, John. Stalions had, 40-some staffers working for him going around the country?
65.
65. I mean, they had a whole spy network. It's like Spectre from James Bond. They're everywhere. It is.
Yeah, and if they probably did a bad job, he probably had a special chair.
Silence!
Yeah. Them down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll probably find out Thursday or Friday what the heck they're going to do. If we have to wait till Monday, that means they're probably going to only do a 2-game suspension, because there's no way they wouldn't do a 4 at that point. So we'll be keeping up with this. Big game Saturday with Missouri. Big game for us. Big game for Michigan and Penn State. Huge. I'm gonna. Golly, that's gonna be a.
I don't know if Penn State's probably not as good as Michigan. They're going to be out for blood. Are they playing at Penn State?
At Penn State, and they do not have their signals anymore because Penn State's had time to change, which sucks for them. They have to change all their signals. That's tough in offense. But
every team in America's changed their signals. I
agree. I think Josh Heupel's changing his. South Carolina. I'm looking at you, Shane. I'm looking at you, Shane Beamer.
If I was him, I'd go back to like really old school and use a receiver just to run in with the play.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't go fast. You can't go fast that way, though.
Well, you can't go fast enough, probably. Yeah.
Can you believe they didn't wear those wristbands at Neyland this year? South Carolina didn't. That's just. I mean, you talking about a dead giveaway. How do you not wear the wristbands that you wore at home to win, and you don't wear them at Neyland? That just screams.
I can't believe somebody in the sports media didn't say, "Where's all your team's wristbands this year?"
Yeah, how come you didn't have them this year? Why? Well, it was so important to you, and Holly Nunn made a big deal. It's the first time they'd ever used them and all that kind of stuff, and it was so successful. You know, you had your best game, and then suddenly come to Neyland where it's super loud, where you need the wristbands even more. We just didn't need them this year. Well, it's probably because you didn't have the signals.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why you got your rear end handed to you too.
Exactly. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, you damn. Don't get me started. Don't get me rolling.
Oh, don't get me going.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
And folks, at the end of this, I'm going to put one of Chillmont's smoking and grilling videos. Chillmont does a great job on, he has his own channel, and he likes to smoke ribs and pork butt and wings and all kinds of cool stuff, prime rib. So I'm going to put one of his videos at the end.
Oh yeah, that's going nice and quick. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah. That's definitely what we want right there. Just a quick sear on that side, and this is going to be.
So y'all be sure to check that one out if you'd like. And if you haven't subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit that little button. I would appreciate it. And right over here's the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, and Chillmonts will be right above that. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.
Bye, guys.